Acronym, Akron, Ohio.
Do you want to just jump into it, and then we'll start figuring out from there?
Yeah, we will. You down with OPP?
The most popular acronyms. Interesting. I feel like it's all. I'm trying to remember school because that's where I remember them. It was like,
so take my Adderall.
Yeah, it was like.
take your Adderall. That'll make this way more fun.
It was like keep it simple, stupid.
Is that? Oh, is that one?
That was one that we had in school. The teacher would be like, "Keep it simple, stupid," and I'd be like, "Is this bitch really calling me stupid right now?"
That's a weird thing to put.
OSS?
Yeah,
the fuck?
Stupid,
Wait,
bro.
no. You said keep it simple. Oh, sorry.
There's the newer acronyms. Are shaking my head like SMH is like a thing.
Oh yeah, that's true. There's a lot of those online that I still don't even know what they mean. Like, what is that one?
Yeah. Like there's one that's
I like this. I like this now.
There's one that's like
what is it?
SMDD, which means sucking my damn dick. That's not what.
Truth serum.
Hey everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of Truth Serum Podcast. We got Ryan and
Corey and Ryan.
And today we also have Asher Rogers.
Asher and Rogers.
Yeah.
We also have Ebert and Roper. We also have Siskel and Ebert. Are Siskel and Ebert and Ebert and Roper, are those the same Ebert?
I think they are. Yes,
It's the same Ebert, dude.
I think you've announced the same guest twice.
Do you know only duos that involve Ebert?
No, there's
Bert and Ernie. That's kind of an Ebert.
Yeah, there's Bert and Ernie, Tom and Jerry.
Bugs and Daffy,
I'm trying to get like a serial killer that had a partner.
Sylvester and Tweety.
You don't hear about serial killers with partners.
There's not many like duos, like the dynamic duo of murder.
Yeah, Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, it's kind of a romanticized. It's also fake, right? That's not a real story.
No, that couple from the Strangers, that they wear the masks.
Yeah, I think that's also fake. I hope that's fake.
Are they a couple?
No, there are like definitely like creepo husband and wife combos that like do that, but they're never like you never know both their names.
Also, what was Fred's deal? From Mystery Inc. From Mystery Inc. What was his deal? How come he kept saying, "I want both of the girls to come with me," and Shaggy, you can go get high with that dog?
Oh, I mean, because he was smart. I mean,
Yeah.
or I mean, he could have been evil, but I don't know. It's hard to say. He was the leader, which means with power comes corruption. Maybe you're onto something.
That's true.
Fred's gonna get canceled. Oh shit!
Oh shit! So by the way, guys, our good friend Asher is here, and he hasn't been on the show since we were able to do the show in a studio together.
I mean, studio in quotations. Studio in quotations.
In
a room.
In a room where it happened. In a room.
It was paid for.
So we would go into a room and close the door, and when they say you never know what's going on behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's people drinking. Most likely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we brought our own liquor. Like we rented a party room, not party room. One of the, not Simple Studios. What was the Russian one?
No, we've been in all the rooms. I mean, Asher's been on the show when we were sitting in the front of a bar.
Yeah, true that.
Getting fucked.
Yeah.
Oh, the early times.
The time with the great audio of a loud ass bar.
Yeah, everyone loves to hear that.
You guys ever watch a movie where there are like young, like adolescent kids as the stars of the movie, and they're just cursing too much for your liking?
I mean, first of all, wait, give me one example of what that movie would be.
One of the worst movies. I watched this movie towards the beginning of quarantine with my wife called Coffee and Kareem, starring who's the dude?
Ed Helms.
Ed Helms.
I knew that was going to be hard.
Yo, that movie was awful.
Taraji
P. Henson. They were the best parts of the movie. That kid, I'm not trying to shit on that kid, but I just didn't like. It was like his performance was kind of like made me cringe a little bit.
Okay. So it wasn't necessarily the dialogue; it was like his enacting of it.
I think he was working with what they gave him.
Yeah.
And I just was like, man, kids don't really talk like that, do they?
Yeah. Well, that's the same for all movies. Whenever there's like I mean, any dialogue really is like, that's not how a conversation goes. Like, there's many, you know, like me right now, like changing sentences and mid-sentences. Like, it's not really beautiful and elegant the way it's portrayed most of the time. And we wouldn't want to see it if it was, like, real. Like, we wouldn't want to see, like, the, you know, me talking like this on the camera. They go, okay, cut and start over because you...
Well, I can't fully agree with that because, like, you had that pilot that came out, and I thought that you did an amazing... By the way, Asher had a pilot that came out last year that was very good.
I did have a pilot.
And he still does have it.
It's gone.
We're going to start a crowdfunding for that. It's going to happen.
I thought that the way... Like, I thought the dialogue was done really well. Like, I thought... You were able to capture the way people really fucking talk to each other, like stumbling over words and shit like that. Like, I think that Justin Roiland and fucking Dan Harmon do that really well. You know what I mean?
In comedy, I feel like you can get away with it a little more. And also, I mean, like, in some movies that are done really well, but it's like big studio movies, they never do that shit. It's like only cool movies or indie weird movies that are interesting maybe will have very hyper-realistic tone, but yeah, I feel like comedy can get away with it more because it's often about someone failing on some level. So you can fail as the character. But for us, when the little tiny pilot thing we did, it was all very, like, in the script, all the stuttering, all the, like, you know, we didn't just wing it at all because it's like that might not work the same way. So, you know, hopefully it has a realistic tone, but it was definitely fake, you know.
We're talking about Alan, right? That project. Yeah, dude. I liked it a lot. It was like it's nice to see like a perspective that's a little bit different from like a lot of other characters that you like are being portrayed now. It's kind of cool. Like, oh, this is also funny because like this guy he's American, but he doesn't have any type of like papers.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Which is also kind of a taboo subject in some respects too. Which is you know, understandable. But but also you guys are in it, so maybe that's why you're like, we got to get this thing made. Maybe it's trash.
Nobody's watching the Truth Serum anymore or listening. We need this project.
It's funny though, like whenever I see I enjoy that shit. Whenever I see my face pop up, I'm just like, oh god, like they could have had somebody better. They could have been.
No, I mean for us, the whole thing is. I mean, intentionally, we tried to cast people in roles that are not like a hard, bizarre stretch. It's supposed to feel kind of realistic. So you guys are very nice guys that could easily portray big nice guys that are like not necessarily sure of what's going on in this lie that's happening in the plot. Yeah. So like, you know, it's very intentional how everyone's role, except maybe like the bad guy, Nathan or whatever. He's not a bad guy in real life at all, but it was like personality wise, we tried to be like, let's make this easy on ourselves. Also, I fucking hate when I see people when you see people doing a character that they cannot do, it makes me enraged. I'm like, I know you're not like that, dude.
For example, like what? Like,
well, I don't want to call anyone out, but I mean, I've definitely done. I mean, in movies and TV, it's like when you know someone that's
God,
so not their personality and they're playing this hyper character. You're like, fuck, you can't deceive me into believing that's real.
I got a perfect example for you. I just watched a movie recently that 50 Cent was one of the stars of the movie. And yo, I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna say it right now because I'm starting to believe that people are gonna hear this shit. And I'm saying right now, I love 50 Cent. I'm just gonna put that on the record. I'm a big fan. I've loved his music for a long time. And I love him. He fucking will argue with regular ass people in his Instagram comments. Like he will argue with regular people that have like 13 followers. But his performance in this movie, I was just like, wow, this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. And he was supposed to be like this tough, scary, aggressive dude, but he was so calm and chill the whole movie that I didn't believe it.
Yeah.
He was too cool. It's called Jesus Christ. It's called Money Heist. No, that's not the name of the movie. No. But it would be. Hold on. I gotta find this shit. But anyway, I know what you mean though, Asher. When you say
happens, I mean that's a perfect example because it happens a lot when when a musical celebrity is put into a movie and you go like, I know you're Sheryl Crow, so I don't believe you're this whatever. Like, that's the perfect example. Is like it's
called Setup. It's called Setup. Sorry,
Setup. I just watched Biker Boys recently, and that had Kid Rock in it as a like supposed badass. Same thing. It's like this guy's a white guy who raps and records music. There's no part of me that will be intimidated by him in this character because he's not a character. He's Kid Rock.
Yeah. Like
absolutely.
He's kind of a one-trick pony. Like, he doesn't have that range to play something a little more other than himself.
Conversely, Kevin Garnett was amazing in Uncut Gems.
True. But that had a very hyper-realistic feel, too, where it was not... That could have been I mean, I love that movie. It would have been horrible if it was, in any way a bigger production, and they were like, we don't want this kind of realism. We want it to be kind of, pumped up. But they did it so well. I loved it. I forced my dad to watch that. I was like, you got to watch this movie, Dad.
That movie was actually a roller coaster. Like, when people say, oh, it was a roller coaster. Like, no, that movie was a fucking roller coaster. Like, I was half asleep before I put it on, and I was wide awake when it was like 5 minutes in.
Yeah. It's an anxiety builder.
So I think some of these actors are cool. Like, we could shit on Adam Sandler's movies, but...
I would never. I love him.
He's one... I mean, he keeps... Despite all the bad things that he's created, he keeps swinging and making some awesome things. Like, it's crazy.
And, like, it's cool, like, when you hear that story about Uncut Gems, and, like, that was just sitting on his, like, agent's desk for, like, fucking years until he's like, what's that fucking thing? He's like, let's do it. What the hell?
Yeah, I know. I mean, if that isn't a story about, like, some people will hear that story and they'll go, wow, so I shouldn't give up. So, like, my script could still be sitting there, but in reality, that should be the story of the chances are so low. It's randomness and luck of someone happening to look into this thing. It's very interesting that could be either very discouraging or like the reason to keep going.
Yo, that's literally just like what life is. I know that we had a plan to talk about a thing, but I'm loving this.
Yeah, I think we evolved.
That's literally just what I feel like about everything in life. Like, and like you said, like, he's made so much. He's made so many things. There was a point in time I was thinking about Lil Wayne and his career path, and like how he went from being like a part of fucking Cash Money and being like 14. And then all of a sudden, when he got like into his 20s, he was the most famous fucking rapper for years. Mm-hmm. He was on everybody's song. He was in everybody's video. And he made some really dope shit, but he also made a lot of whack-ass, stupid fucking songs, too. And you're just like, yo, but he's so hot right now that he can't lose.
Yeah.
That's just what happens.
He also, like, I mean, I guess because he was kind of always the same, presenting and being the same person. Like, he hasn't been taken down by the scrutiny of like media bullshit. He's like, I'm sure he gives interviews, but he's like, he's not a slave to being a certain thing. And then like, we can point out that you're not that thing. It's like, he's kind of, his whole life is what he does. Yeah.
And then to even like be like, and now I have this guy Drake, and then Drake is a fucking megastar. It's like, what? Yo, that's crazy. Some people just like fall into an amazing life.
Yeah. Again, some people hear that and go like, "Oh, Drake, he made it. Maybe I can make it." And it's like, I mean, maybe, but like the odds of getting like even before he was that, like the odds of getting on a show like Degrassi, pretty low. Like everyone's fighting for these things, and it's like it's so random and happenstance if you land something.
Yeah.
Let alone if you land that and then get to parlay that into a successful rap career, which is... I don't know how he did it.
I don't know how he did it.
After Degrassi, I don't know how he did it.
Also, it blows my mind, too, how people who do, like, have these, like, successful, like, these crazy stories, like, when they write a book about it, it's like what we're talking about right now. It's like, in this instance, this happened to this person.
Yeah.
And it's cool to, like, give people hope, but it's like, this is not to say that this... like, do all these things and this exact thing is going to happen to you.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's like you could help increase the odds, but the odds are still fucking low, and you got to know that.
Yeah.
Some of those stories are bullshit, though. I hate those stories where they're like, oh, yeah, that person got noticed in a restaurant.
It was, it was meant to be.
Bryan Singer was sitting there? Yeah.
Well, that is the truth. Like, behind, like, there's only been, like, I think a couple times in reality where someone was, like, spotted and that like they just were given a role because some director liked what they looked like. In reality, it's like everybody has connections to something. You know, there's a large part of the population that probably wouldn't even know about like managers and agencies, and like how the sausage is made, essentially. Like
exactly,
like, people are around for a long time, trying to scrap their way.
I read a book. Yeah, I read a book when I was in like elementary school. I'll never forget this fucking book, and it's called Fortunately by what's this fucking guy's name? Hold on. By a dude named what the fuck? His name is Remy Charlip.
Remy,
and what the fuck, name? Charlotte.
And so basically, the book is like, fortunately, Ned was invited to a surprise party. Unfortunately, the party was 1,000 miles away. Fortunately, and then the whole book is like that, and it's like, yo, that book is like a perfect metaphor for life.
Yeah.
Fortunately, unfortunate. Yeah. Fortunately, they told me I was going to win $1 million. Unfortunately, they're taxing half of it. It's
That's wow. Like rings a deep bell in my brain where I'm like, maybe I did read that book because that sounds like an early memory, but I don't fully remember it, so I can't claim it.
You may have. The cover is a kid on a parachute. If you look at he's coming down a parachute and it just says "fortunately," which obviously, yeah, it would be fortunate if your fucking parachute deployed.
Wow, that's interesting, and that is probably a good thing to teach kids on some level of like, you know, there's good and there's bad.
Yeah, silver linings. Silver linings playbook.
Yeah, maybe you land in a cactus patch, but you know, you had a parachute.
Yeah. That's fixable.
In theory.
You know?
In theory.
In theory, it is fixable.
Depends on how you land, I guess. Oh my gosh, you guys. I watched... This is not off topic. This is on topic with... Well, it's kind of off topic. I watched this movie on HBO Go called Replicas. Have you heard of this? Keanu Reeves.
Oh, Keanu
2019.
Reeves. Yeah,
oh, man, I haven't seen it.
Okay. I never heard of this. And it's like maybe it was pandemic, like shut it down from being in theaters or something, because I never heard of this movie. But I just played it, and it's... No joke, one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
And I will not for a second believe that Keanu was not trying to get fired from that set. Like, the acting is so intentionally bad and so, like, so much of... It seems to be like a fuck you to the director or something. Like, there's something so off when you watch this. Not to mention that the plot is horrible, but, like, his acting seems like he's trying to get kicked... Like, he's trying to shut this movie down. It is bad, gentlemen.
Oh, damn.
You got to watch it. I mean, it was very fun to watch, but it was like, I can't believe he agreed to this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like with that 50 Cent movie, it's like, yo, and Bruce Willis is fucking in it too.
Oh,
it's just like, yo, are they just friends?
Yeah. And they go,
like,
let's do a project together so we can go. Wow. That's
kind of sad to see these like superstars now are now the new B movie stars. We're so used to watching. It's like, oh yeah, Bruce Willis, Die Hard.
Now
Nobody's a fool.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Like, cop out.
Cop out. Yeah. It's like musically speaking too. Like Shaggy and Sting did an album recently, and it's like, Sting, what are you doing? Like, you are so famous. Like, Shaggy had 2 hits, right?
Yeah, he had It Wasn't Me, and he had Girl, You're My Angel, which is a fucking cover of another song.
Yeah.
Didn't he do
Isn't that like Juice? Isn't that Juice Newton?
Oh, wait, did he do... Yeah, he might have done...
Boombastic.
Oh, Mr. Boombastic, yeah. He's Mr. Boombastic.
So maybe he's had a few hits. But Sting from the Police, it's like, what are you doing a full combo album with Shaggy? It's like, are you trying to end something? Are you trying to end your career? Are you trying to like go like, I'm done. Let's do this.
Yeah, is this like getting fired so you can get unemployment?
Yeah.
Are you saying Shaggy's not talented, bro? Are you saying Shaggy's not talented? Oh, come on.
No, I think his time passed, and it's like, hey man, you don't have to do this.
I mean, I have no problem with saying shots fired to Shaggy. Okay, I don't.
My mom loves Shaggy. My mom loves him.
It's a pop artist that had a few hits, is the point. And Sting is a guy who is like the Police was part of like a monumental. I mean, Police was so big that Puff Daddy sampled the Police to make another huge hit song. Yeah. So it's like, it's just crazy to be like, I'll choose Shaggy. Like, what?
Again, they're probably just friends.
Yeah.
They probably ran into each other at a bar or an event, and we're like, hey, man, we got to do something sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometime soon.
I'm under contract. I have to produce one more album for my label, so Shaggy, come on over.
Yeah, just hang out with me while I do.
Hang out. Let's do some yoga and loosen up, and then we'll do some music.
I feel like Sting pops up randomly in my life. Like, I was watching some round table interview thing, and like there were a bunch of musicians and artists there, and it was like Alicia Keys, fucking Lin-Manuel Miranda was there, Pharrell, and then like Sting was there, and I was just like, yo, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, wait a minute. Sting was also the father in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Do you remember that?
That's right.
Sting was so cool.
Whoa. Yeah, there was a chunk of time when he was appearing in movies and stuff. He seems to be, it seems like maybe he just likes the spotlight. I don't know, because he does appear on a lot of talk shows.
Who's cooler, Sting or Billy Idol?
Sting, Jesus Christ, come on.
You think Sting? I like Billy Idol.
Billy Idol, I can't say I know much about him, but I think he joined the punk world in like a pop sense. You know what I mean?
He did. He totally did.
And there's a place for that, but it's just like Sting came up through the hard world of traveling and playing shows and getting your ass kicked and stuff. So, yeah. Also, Sting has way more songs, or the Police have way more songs that I've loved. I can only name one Billy Idol song.
What, Rebel Yell? White Wedding?
Oh, I guess there's a few. Yeah, I was thinking "Dancing with Myself."
"Dancing with Myself," also a good Billy Idol song.
Yeah, that's all I think of when I think of him, actually. But yeah, he did have a few. Yep.
I don't know, but do yourself a favor and do this experiment, because I discovered this years ago, and I'm gonna give you a gift.
Okay.
Jason Statham and Billy Idol have the exact same voice.
Really?
Look it up.
Oh, like when they're talking.
Like when they're talking. Jason Statham can't. I don't think he can sing.
Yeah. But they talk with a...
Yeah.
You want to play the game where you just play clips of their voices? Like, can you tell if it's Jason Statham?
Listen to
Billy Idol.
Or Jason Statham.
Well, Billy Idol, remember when he was in... Billy Idol was in The Wedding Singer.
Yeah.
Too.
He also will love to get in a movie, yeah.
Yeah. He'll pop in a movie here and there.
Yeah. Appreciate Billy Idol. I like it.
Remember when Michael Jackson was in Men in Black 3?
Is he?
Yeah, he was like, I can be Agent M. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because the joke
that was the second one.
Yes,
wasn't it?
Which was also one, but it's
he was in the third. I think he was in the third one. Johnny Knoxville.
The third one's where they travel through time.
Oh, I haven't seen the third one. Yeah, but yeah, no, he was, and the joke was like, is he an alien? Right? Isn't that part of the joke about his life in general? Everyone was like, he's an alien.
That's what the magazines would say.
Yeah, so it's like it's a little tongue in cheek, which I like.
But, how would you feel? Would you work for the Inquirer? Would you work for the Nash?
I mean, at this point, I'm like, might as well become a bad guy. Like, I'm 35. Okay, I gotta make more money. So yeah, I'll become a paparazzi. I'll do whatever it takes.
I'm 35 too.
We gotta become bad guys if we want to be successful.
Yeah. You have to become bad after a while, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, villainous. In fact, like a comic book kind of villain.
I think being good is just like for your 20s.
Actually, I think
good most people would. It's a
most
phase
people would
in
flip
20s.
that around. Most people would flip that around and say, like, when you're in your 20s, you're acting like an asshole, and then you calm down as you get older.
I love
but for me, I'm going to become a bad guy.
What does it even mean to act like an asshole?
I mean, when you're older, it's just like everything makes you mad. I mean, I'm always like, fuck this. So it's like, just lean into it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, you get to the point where you don't have to care about some things. It's like, no, I don't care about this topic. You can actually walk away from people if you don't like them.
Here's a good question. I mean, it's actually not a good question, but it's a funny one.
Well, you're a bad guy now, so that's cool.
Would you guys, because we're all joking, obviously. We don't consider ourselves evil men. But if you were given the knowledge for the rest of your life that, like, here's your options, boys. You could become a villain, and you got to do some pretty bad stuff. But you'll be successful, and ultimately you'll be happy in life. And the only other option is you don't choose villainy, but you become, like, destitute. Like, you're living on the street homeless. Those are your only two options. What do you choose?
I feel like you're paraphrasing the Dark Knight there speech.
Oh, is
he
it?
made
either become the bad guy? Yeah.
But in the Asher way. I understand
That's
your question.
true.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, if you knew the future and you go, okay, I'm either going to be taken advantage of to the point where I become homeless and I never get back on my feet, or I rob this place and start a criminal enterprise.
Well, who owns the place is the question.
You could go to the extreme.
Well, maybe, I mean, of course, you'd start off trying to, like, I'm only robbing Walmart because it's a corporation. But eventually, it gets, you're a tycoon, you're a villain, you make millions of dollars, and you move money from place to place. So, bad things happen along the way.
Wait, do you think Robin Hood is a villain? Because his whole thing was rob from the rich and give to the poor.
That's good. That's what I mean. Like, that's how you start to make yourself not feel bad about it. But then eventually you are robbing from good people.
I kind of want to be like, Swearingen, not past Swearingen that we know, from Westwood.
Never watched it, but I'll go with you.
The handsome guy, Westworld?
Not Westworld. It's a HBO.
Deadwood.
Deadwood, yeah, that's the one. Like Swearingen's like he's owner of a brothel and a casino. He's kind of an anti-hero. I kind of want to be that sort of guy where it's like, I'm doing some really shady shit, but this is how I do, and I go by. I have a.
But your only option.
Also, if you're working if you own a brothel, you can. That's not necessarily a terrible thing.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, like, I want a code. Like, I really have I want to be a criminal of the code. I know I'm bad, but I will.
But you have a code.
Yeah.
And I would argue, Corey, that owning a brothel back in the Western days, you're probably not a good person. This is probably
but if you own a brothel now,
brutality.
Well, you know what I mean. Like with all the, if you own a brothel, if you have the money to take care of these people that want to, make money like that, and you're doing everybody a favor.
You're just a landlord in that respect. But yeah. It's in that back then. I feel like everyone was just like evil, essentially. Also, maybe not intentionally, but
can you ever think about how gross the streets must have smelled back then?
I mean, I don't know how we made it this far as people when, like, there was for a long chunk of history, people didn't brush their teeth. But there's like, how did anyone hook up with anyone? They didn't take showers. People were disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was like they're just. I guess you wait till you're going to go insane and then you just deal with it, or maybe they're totally acclimated because that was normal then. But I'm still like, I don't know, man. Stinks. Stinks.
Well, that's why the people that became famous back in the day were just like they literally did the bare minimum. They just had teeth in their mouth, and they fucking like and they just looked like okay to look at.
Yeah. They just weren't like morbidly obese or morbidly skinny. They're just medium, straight down the barrel kind of guys.
It's like, oh, this person just got kind of lucky.
Yeah.
That person's good looking.
This person kind of lined up, I guess.
This person looks better than everybody else on this street.
You're nice to look at.
Yeah, just comparison.
I'd love to play a role that people wouldn't expect me to play. Going back to what you said earlier, I'd love to play like a small woman, or something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, people can, again, with comedy, you can get away with a lot more. That gives you so much leeway for people to go like, oh, it's a character. I'm not trying to have to believe you are that person necessarily. But like True. A serious movie, when someone's trying to be something they're not. I mean, here's a good example. Nick Cage, so fun to watch. But to me, when he plays like a neurotic, weird character, he nails it. And when he plays Ghost Rider, like a tough badass, I'm like, I don't believe this for a fucking second.
Yeah.
And it's like, it doesn't matter if you got CGI abs, dude. I don't believe you are that guy.
Those are real abs. What are you talking about? That's confirmed.
I feel like that about Orlando Bloom. Whatever movie he's in, I just automatically don't believe it.
You go, this isn't real.
I don't give a fuck what he's doing.
Do you think that's the trouble with typecasting? Like, you see him in his magnificent role as being Legolas, and now that's all you see.
Yeah.
I could walk in on him.
Yeah, he's too pretty.
I could walk in on him fucking his wife and be like, nope, not really doing it.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it, man.
It, buddy. You're not selling this at all.
No.
Yeah. I mean.
Just walking on Orlando Bloom. Cut.
Like, nope.
No, don't believe it.
Sorry, buddy.
So the question is, are you down with OPP?
Yeah,
Orlando Bloom's OBP. Orlando
OBP.
Bloom's pussy. OBP.
Because we all have
Orlando
one.
Bloom.
We all have one. What's a fashion thing that you didn't care for as a kid, but now you like? Now you wear it all the time.
Hats.
Oh, you weren't a hat guy?
Yeah. Well, I'm going bald, so I've become hat guy.
I don't believe it.
When I was a kid, well, you know it's a fact. But when I was a kid, I used to see bald guys always wearing caps, and I'm like, why are you doing that? Because we know you're bald. But now as a bald guy, I'm like, no, you got to retain some decency, some dignity.
Why do we do that? I feel like we need to like really be cool with the whole like being. There's like some of the dopest dudes ever are bald. Michael Jordan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock.
Right below Michael Jordan is Stone Cold Steve Austin. So
Bruce
you know
Willis.
Yeah, but you know, these are strange, rare outliers, and like I feel like if you looked at Bruce Willis and you were not from, I mean, I guess he's international, but like if you'd never heard of him and you looked at him, people were like, he's a superstar, and you'd be like, that guy looks like a troll. Like you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't understand.
I disagree, but that's funny.
Well, we know him, and we see like the young him, and we see these things in him. But like if you had never, if he was like, oh, he's China's biggest star, and you'd be like, I never heard of him. I have no context. And when any star is like aged and old,
star?
No, I mean,
I think that's super
one.
interesting. Like if you think about like Bollywood and shit,
exactly,
like their version of
some
Brad
guy who's
Pitt.
been around for like, but a guy who's been around for like 50 years in the game, or less than that maybe, but like so much that we like they still respect him like the way we do De Niro, Pacino, all these people, but it's like they aren't this hunk anymore. Where we see this thing in them. Yeah. And like if you don't have that context, that's why I meant like I want to see China's biggest like classic star, like, because I don't have any context, and I would look at it and be like, oh, this because it looks like a weird old dude. But to them, it's like you still get to be a hunk in a movie.
Yeah. Well, like if you look at like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, who was, I didn't realize he was balding for all those years. I just was like, man, his corners are really far back, but that just might just be his shit. I didn't understand. And then one day he just showed up bald, and I was like, okay.
Okay, here's a perfect example. Think about how buff The Rock has gotten since he's gotten bald. Like if you look back at old pictures, like you got to do something to hide or compensate. You really do. Like,
yeah.
But who made that up? Like who made that rule?
I think it's just the insecurity of every male of just going like, oh, I'm losing my virility, I'm losing my youth and my attractiveness, and then you don't want that to be so you try to do something against it.
So like you create the body to distract everyone from your dome.
Yeah, whether you know it or not, it might be deeply subconscious, and you know, like.
Well, I also think. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just gonna say, yeah, I'm starting to feel that way. I saw the little patch right there that my dad has. I'm like, oh, I'm starting to get it.
Yeah.
I'm starting to experiment, like by looking at like starting to shave. Like today, like when COVID started, I was like, all right, I'm gonna shave my head. I'm gonna try it.
See how it feels.
What's happening?
Yeah.
You can do the
comb over. It looks like
over.
to prepare myself for the future because I know this would be balding. I'm trying to figure out grow facial hair. Do I want to get more abs? I need to find something. I get it now.
Sure.
I kind of starting to get it
for sure because I don't right now, but I traditionally have a very large beard, and like that's part of it. Is like you want to have something. I
like
used to have
beard.
a big penis, and now my penis is tiny. No, my like.
Because we shrink when we get older.
It's not intentional. Like I didn't think like I better grow a beard now. It's like I just realized one day that like, oh, I have a big beard, probably to compensate from that something's gone up here, and it's like you want something to kind of balance your shit out. I also have massive eyebrows, so it's like I need something else to look at, or else you're like that guy looks like a demon.
Isn't it like interesting how long it takes us to accept what we look like? Like, you know, when you're a kid and people make fun of you for these things, like other kids are assholes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you got ears that stick out to the side, everybody's like, look at his fucking ears, everybody. That's how 5-year-olds talk. And then you finally get older, you're like, yeah, I got the, and you're on like a first date with somebody, and like, yeah, I got these fucking ears. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's stuck deep in you. Yeah, it is interesting you say that because I always think about like, or when you're a kid, you're thinking of when you get to be an adult or whatever age, you go like, then I will have arrived and reached that age, and then I'm locked into that. But then you don't. You keep changing. Like you know what I mean? Like there is no end point in which, I mean, when you die, I suppose is the end point. But like for like what you look like forever, people will be like, any given year, it's truly changed and different. Like there is no me in that respect. Like you know what I mean? Like the residual self-image I have is a younger me, but I'm like I don't look like that now.
Unless you're Regis Philbin, who looked exactly the same his whole life.
Some people can lock it in. That's another reason I think people eventually buzz their hair when they're going bald. Is they're like, I'm gonna get there. Let's just get used to it. Let's go into it.
Let's figure out this new look here.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to deal with this.
What's my new metamorphosis as a bald man?
That's what I think. I think that's what I would do, and I would just wear hats all the time. Because if I do have like a fucking. My head is the exact same shape as Adam Sandler's head.
That's a great description.
If you didn't see, if I didn't have this hair, you'd be like, oh yeah. It's because, and I discovered this from somebody else telling me years ago. Like Corey has the same
Sandler head.
I was in school and somebody was like, your head is the same shape as Adam Sandler's head. And then I went and saw the cover of 50 First Dates where he's looking at Drew Barrymore and you see the profile and I'm like, holy shit, I do have the same head shape as Adam Sandler.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
I can see it. Pause the DVD.
I'm like imagining it now because I mean I've seen you with short hair for sure. I can kind of see it. Yeah, I'll have to do some investigation after this podcast.
Same chin too. That's why I can't let myself get out of shape because then I'll just have a really soft chin.
Oh man, I remember the first time I saw a picture of myself, a profile picture of myself. It wasn't until like I was in like high school that I saw a random, because we didn't used to take pictures of ourselves. But there's some picture of me where my profile, and I could see. I was like, oh, I like hunch over, and I didn't know my whole life. I mean, up till that point, that my posture isn't what I thought it was. I was like, oh, I look like this all the time. Like I look like a monster. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta fix this. Still working on it. I have 2 back braces, but you know, man. It's just a weird like, oh, you don't think about it, and then I'm like, oh shit, I'm becoming this hunched over monster.
No, but in some weird way, not to be lame about this, but like I really feel like it's important for people to hear like dudes talking about this shit because dudes don't really talk about this kind of shit, like that insecurity or fear of going bald. Like you'll hear a woman go, and then I had to shave my fucking armpits because people don't like want to see me have hair. And it's like, no, like, but I'm also, this is a thing about what I look like that I'm super concerned with as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think, I mean, yeah, it's just like with guys, I'm like, either you, I feel like everyone has insecurities, or you're
I have small calves.
Or you're so stupid that you have none. Like, there's a lot of guys that are like, they look like shit and they're unaware because maybe they're too dumb, or I don't know, maybe they can't deal with the reality, but it is weird that guys aren't allowed to talk about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's super weird. But we can get made fun of for it, for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like if I used to be really self-conscious about my fucking calves, and I would never wear shorts. And I've since been working on that.
Yeah, but that's what's so funny is that like it's things like that an outside party would probably never really notice. Like, I would never think like, oh, Corey has a part of his body that he's not into, because I see you as a very strong, buff dude, and I'm like, I don't think he's worried about that.
And if they were doing that, they're kind of an asshole and insecure in some way. It's like, oh, that person has bad ankles.
Yeah, but what about his whack-ass fucking calves? Is he going to do anything about that?
I think it's also...
he just did 50 pull-ups. Yeah, but what about his calves?
What about those calves? Yeah, it is a funny thing, though, because, like, as guys who are in the world of comedy, it's like, I also love when people give me shit. Like, I love, like there's a certain element to people giving you shit that means they love you. But there's also the certain element where, like, they might tap into a sincere insecurity that maybe they don't even know is that. And it's like, I mean, that, it definitely has helped me, like, deal with stuff when people rip on me for whatever. If you make fun of me because I'm bald, I'm just like, well, okay, it's making me a little stronger and aware of, like, that, like... Yeah, bring it. Like, I'm aware. This doesn't matter.
I know it's going to sound weird. I envy that you get made fun of. I don't get made fun of a lot.
Really?
It sucks. Sometimes, like, people can't tell that I'm playing along with the joke because nobody makes fun of me that much. They're like, oh, you're too nice of a guy, Ryan. You know, like, oh, stop being nice. All right, well, come on, shit on me. Are we friends? I need to know you're my friend. Shit on me.
Well, you gotta shit on people too, Ryan. You need to shit on people.
I do shit on a few people.
You shit, but then you immediately apologize for shitting on people. You do. You go. I'm sorry, bro. I'm just kidding. It's like, yeah, we know.
Well, sometimes I don't know if you know.
That's why they think you're. That's why they think you're nice.
Thinks I'm too serious. I'm like, well, I'm
too.
No, nobody thinks that. Nobody thinks that you're too serious.
Why so serious?
Yeah, Ryan. He's that very serious guy.
Ryan's so serious all the time. I don't know if I could be around him right now.
There's nothing worse than also having to like explain when you're joking.
Yeah,
like it's like
so awkward.
It happens to me. That happens like in the dating world so much, and I'm like, well, this isn't gonna work if you don't get when I'm like joking, because a lot of joking is like self-deprecation and shit. And I've definitely been on many a date where someone thinks like that I'm asking them for help, like, oh, you shouldn't feel that way, and I'm like, no, this is a bit, like, this is a joke, and I shouldn't really have to explain that me saying I live in a garbage dump is a joke. It's like, yeah, it's a joke.
Yeah, like I don't actually, it's not, yeah,
I don't actually hate myself. I mean, I do maybe on some level, but like not in the level that I'm bringing it out and being obviously exaggerating and like trying to make you laugh. I mean, that's what it is. That's why it's gross. Is like, you're like, I'm trying to make you laugh, and now you're concerned, and it's like, mission not accomplished.
Honestly, like you guys know, I got married this year, and that was a major thing for me. Like, obviously, like I had dated quite a few people over the years, as you do, and you know, when I met my wife, like one thing that I fucking swore to myself before I met her was the next person I meet needs to understand this part of me where I'm literally fucking around.
Yeah.
Whatever I say, I'm just kidding. I love a good laugh. Whenever I'm in a room full of people and I say something and everyone starts laughing, I'm like, yes, in my head. You know what I mean? Like, that's my shit. I love that, you know? And I got lucky, you know? Like, my wife will be washing the dishes or some shit, and I'll come up and whisper some shit in her ear, like weird, creepy shit. Like, I'll be like, do you feel the heat coming off of it? You know what I mean? Like, and shit like that. And she just laughs. Like, but you can't do that with everyone.
Yeah. It is interesting to me when people link up that don't have like the same sense of humor and stuff, because it's like, how are you spending all this time with this person if you can't like be laughing and fucking around and like being your true self?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
People do it. People fucking marry people that they're like, I don't really like him that much, but you're like, I'm marrying him.
Yeah, it just seems like, you know, all right, you're just being dependent on somebody because you don't want to be alone. And that's
but I would much rather be alone than be around someone who doesn't get my jokes.
Yeah.
Okay, I need the laugh.
Yeah, like, don't make me feel like a fucking idiot. Like, oh no, maybe I'm not funny. You start second guessing.
Yeah. Laugh at my joke in front of your parents. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely dated friends that their girlfriends really. Or dated friends. I've definitely had friends that dated someone that like hated their sense of humor and like would got them to kind of shut down that part of themselves, and it's like, that's not good.
It's not healthy. It's not healthy for sure.
Yeah, like if someone's like take on something or their comedic sense makes you like hate them, you shouldn't date them. I mean, that's like should be known.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes people look at each other as a project. It's like, this person is like this, and I could work on that. Why you shouldn't even be coming in thinking about that? Just fucking hang out. Isn't it weird that it's just so easy? Like, think about all the friends you have that you know you can count on. You can hit them up anytime. You can talk to them always, and they'll come they'll listen to you when you're sad and everything. It's like, how do you turn that into somebody that you're with as a partner that you choose to be with? You know what I mean? Like that kind of friendship where you could even fucking disagree with each other and it's not really a big deal. Yeah. So it's like, all right, that's how it should be.
Yeah. And most of your time in reality in a relationship is not spent having sex or being at like a fucking vacation. Most of your time is spent just in a shared space. So it's like, choose someone you fucking get along with at least.
Yeah.
Like, you know, respects what you like to do too, as well. You know, that hobby doesn't be the same hobby. I remember, like, you know, being around people who just made fun of me for playing video games all day, but that's what I do. I like it.
Exactly. You got to find someone who's down with that. Yeah.
It's somebody's gonna be down with that too.
Yeah,
they're gonna want to play with you.
Oh, plenty, bro.
They're out there. They're on Twitch. Go find them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're on Twitch, buddy.
They're on Twitch, man. They're just sitting there on Twitch playing RPGs.
They want to date a hot boy like you.
Ooh yeah.
Ryan, why haven't you started a Twitch channel where you play video games in your underwear?
Yeah. That could actually be a thing. You got to get some whitey tighties and just be kind of standing and flexing and playing.
Just be sweaty all the time,
dude.
You got to get sexy underwear.
I'm not joking when I say that would work. People would just start tuning, in going like, "What is this?" Like, I gotta watch.
There's nothing any way attractive or cool about a sweaty man.
There are
not.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know, Ryan.
Bro, there are videos of people on YouTube that have over 1 million views of people like putting furniture together.
Yeah. You can get billions of views with this idea. I mean, I want to produce this idea. This is a good idea.
If you produce it, I'll do it.
I mean, once you get into it, it'll be simple. You're like, oh, I'm just playing video games. I just happen to be in my underwear.
Right.
Or you could do like OnlyFans and go fully naked.
There we go.
You could do that.
I'll wear a thong. How about there? Like just assless.
We'll start there. We'll start there.
Yeah,
guys, have you seen any like I mean, I hate talking pandemic honestly, but I want to know like what's the most annoying thing you've seen on social media? Because we're all on social media way more as a result of sitting around doing fuck all.
As a result of having idle time.
Yeah. I mean, I find myself scrolling and then going, Asher, what the hell are you doing? Like, I don't know what I'm looking at or why I even got in there.
Like in Instagram, like you just found like a page or like a rabbit hole of like, I'm gonna look at cat pictures or something.
I'd be like, oh, I went to Instagram to get this phone number of my friend, and now I'm just 30 minutes later looking at nothing. Like,
yeah.
I've been getting sucked in to like fitness people. Like I like watching before and after pictures of like, I lost 50
those are
pounds.
great. Those stories are
this
great.
Is awesome. And I'm looking at myself, why am I not training right now?
Mm-hmm.
I get lost in that sort of thing. I'm like, oh, if you're talking about annoying though, sorry, not to keep talking, but like, I'm tired of. I do understand inspirational stuff, like where it's like, oh, look up Buckaroo, things are okay. It's sunny out. You live forever.
Buckaroo. What was the last time someone called somebody?
Just like greeting card kind of bullshit.
Like I'm looking at myself, like my sheets are off my bed. I've like stains on my shirt. About to smoke this weed. I'm like, all right, well, life ain't so bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to hear that.
The inspirational stuff. Yeah, that it is shocking because you're like, this is what's like printed on like a weird little stitched thing in your aunt's house on the wall. Like, how has this become cool? What like young people are it's like it's the same thing. It's just like the new format, but it's like what it is very, very corny, and it's weird that the people that like there was a girl. This is a few years ago, but there was a girl I almost started dating, and then I looked at her Instagram, which is a good tell.
It's like hiring somebody for a job.
Just saw endless stories of these bullshit inspirational quotes, and it's like, this is really working for you? Like, I was so grossed up, but I was like, dodged a bullet because I just can't support that.
Yeah, but there's some there are ones that I do enjoy. Like Corey posts really great ones. They're very positive, kind of fun, and like more interesting. Like I can't look at like a Instagram post where it's like a whole 2 pages on one screen. I'm like, I'm not gonna read this whole story.
Got to zoom in to read this. Like,
I don't like long captions.
Yeah.
Like those long captions. And then sometimes people even warn you before they go, hey guys, this is going to be a real sappy post.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like fucking 3 paragraphs long. I'm like, did someone read this?
Yeah. I mean, I guess like the concept of it is, in theory, is that like all these people so well that you do care about what they have to say. But in reality, we all follow so many people that we don't know that well. And it's like, I don't know what you're even talking. What if the reference is like I don't.
Yeah.
There's someone that I don't know that well, and I just she's posting stuff about her dad's back, and I'm like, did he get injured? I don't know who these people are, but
they'll be like,
can we get specifics?
They'll be like, as you all know, my dad has been battling a back problem for the last 2 years. And it's like, no, I don't know.
I didn't know that, and I don't need to know it either because I don't really know you. It's just like a stress that is now in my brain of like, now I know about that person's in pain. Great.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I mean, I feel like maybe we could get a little better with quality control for the for lack
sweep it out
for lack of a better term.
Cancel it.
Yeah,
just in terms of
the one that has annoyed me also so much, and the reason I was wondering if you guys were going to reach this point too. But
go on.
I didn't get there yet.
I've seen so many of the same posts, which is, well, it's my birthday during pandemic, this is weird, and whatever. And it's like, we all were told this is going to last 1 full year at least. So guess your experience is not unique. Everybody, it's like, you're acting like, oh, it only happened to me. And it's like, it happened to literally everyone. Everyone had a birthday within this calendar year. So we all had the same experience, which is, you didn't go out one time on your birthday, you stupid fuck? Who cares? Like...
Oh. Yeah,
come on, buddy. It's
just to look at me bullshit of like, well, I mean, this is weird, but it's my birthday and pandemic. Like,
all right, man.
You can post about that if it lasted 1 month. You can post about it, but if it's a year, we all have. It's just,
come on, buddy, come on.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, if it was only a month long, and it would just happen to be your birthday that month, it's like,
then I'll listen to your post.
But also, too, you could also throw a party later on. Like, this is the party for the party.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the same as, it's what I hate on social media most, which is just an excuse to say, look at me.
Yeah.
Well, that actually brings me... Sorry. No, that brings me to something I just saw a little while ago before I got on here. I was watching Trevor Noah. And did you guys see how a gender reveal party is the reason why all those fucking fires happened in California?
Wait, what?
I know about this via the memes and stuff. Like, my news comes from memes and bullshit.
Well,
like that.
yeah. Well, apparently this party was using like pyrotechnics, and it caused all these fires.
Mm-hmm.
That fucking
a gender reveal party. In what way? Were they like throwing?
They had explosives
on fire.
They were basically using explosives.
There was an explosion that was, I guess, going to show the color blue or pink. I don't know. Yeah. That's what I've...
First of all, I think gender reveal parties are fucking stupid.
Oh, they're fucking hell stupid.
I didn't know that was really a thing, honestly, until... I mean...
I thought it was a joke,
Yeah, like, a party for this? Like, there's so many little parties, baby showers, and...
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
There's also a bridal shower, which I didn't know was a thing. Like, didn't you guys... Like, all right, so you're going to have a party when you find out if it's a boy or a girl, and then the baby's going to be born, and then you're going to have another party? Or does a baby shower happen... before the baby's born? I think
baby showers before it's born. But it's just like, I don't get... I mean, all that stuff is like truly like born out of like richness, and which is often whiteness. So it's like, these are the richest people that have the time and the ability to throw a fucking party to reveal something that a kid doesn't even know about. Like something that's so irrelevant until they're like way older. It's like... Well, that's the act, and that's why it's the perfect target, is because it's like, we know it's these rich white fucks doing this.
Also, isn't it a bummer for the woman? She can't even drink. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I was just doing.
She can't even drink.
Yeah, like just like looking at the photo, like the album, the photo albums. Like, oh yeah, you're showing your kids. Like, oh yeah, this is you in the gender reveal party we talking about. Yeah, that was a good time.
In my stomach.
There's my stomach. It's like, nobody cares.
I'm sorry, but it's not a party if you can't drink. I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, have you ever been to a party and everybody's like, yeah, it's a party? And I'm like, there's no booze here. This is not a party.
It is funny because it's all based on, like, we didn't used to have the technology to detect what the sex or sexual organs of the child was.
Yeah.
And it's only in that time where it's become a thing. I didn't really know about the real parties. I knew that it was like, obviously people, I have siblings that have kids, and some people choose to know, some people choose not to know. Mm-hmm. I don't think I'd ever heard of there being like parties for that. That seems very fucking boring.
Yeah. There's no way. I used to actually say this shit all the time. I used to tell my mom, because I was a kid, and when you're a kid, your parents bring you to events that you don't want to go to. So whenever someone had a baby shower, I used to I would literally throw a fit. We're going to this person's baby shower. I'm not fucking going to a baby shower. I'm 10. Yeah. I just want to play video games and fucking talk to my friends or something. I'm not going to a baby shower. Fuck a baby. You know? Like, baby showers are the dumbest fucking parties ever.
I mean, it's the last thing you want to be at.
But is there something that events in your lives that you think is old and dumb when you were younger, but you're like, I get it now. I like this.
Honestly, just now, I just said baby shower thing. At some point, I'm probably going to have a baby and throw a baby shower.
Yeah. And you actually enjoy it? I'm saying you'll enjoy it. You're like, I get it. I enjoy this.
I mean,
these old like these weird traditions that
kids
we have.
Kids definitely change. I don't have kids. I have nieces and nephews though, and like kids change things as far as like I mean, I do like Halloween. Halloween's like one of my favorite time periods in the year, but like I'm not like really set on like I'm not going to necessarily get dressed up, but if I'm with like my nieces and nephews, they're so excited about it, like you do want to get into whatever dumb things going on.
Yeah.
So it's like I think it's funny that kids are the accidental reason we keep doing things like Christmas, where it's like it's just because you see it through the eyes of this kid who's so excited that you go like, oh, I totally want to do this dumb tradition that means absolutely nothing.
That's why Jehovah Witnesses figured it out. They're like, fuck holidays.
Scrap the holidays. And I'm for that, man. I say like make up your own holidays and like have, you can have fun with your kids in any way you want. But like, they might feel like they're missing out on whatever, but yeah, the stupid. I mean, I for a long time and still am very cynical, but like the consumerism and bullshit of holidays is disgusting. Like the Valentine's Day, all these things are just like it's just to push products. It's just total bullshit. But then you get around little kids and you're like, okay, I'll buy you some candy that's horrible for you.
It's so funny that you bring up Valentine's Day because Valentine's Day is one that like you always hear that dudes feel so strongly about. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Every dude I know is like, man, how come I can't just be nice to my girlfriend every day? It's like, yeah, but they fucking, you know that you can't avoid this shit, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Even if your girlfriend agrees with you, like this is a bullshit thing,
you're gonna do something. You got to do something, and that sucks, man. It really there's since so many things are being talked about now that have never been talked about, and so that people are being educated on how everyone feels now. You know what I mean? Like people are having more representation and being able to say like, yo, just so you know, like us as a group of people have felt this way for a long time, but no one listened.
Yeah.
I would like to say as a dude, it's like, yo, we are expected to be romantic. We are expected to woo, the person that we're interested in. And it's like, yo, sometimes also we weren't necessarily equipped or taught what that even looks like apart from watching a movie or or anything like that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. That's why, I mean, for the most part, guys are like, so I guess I bring someone to dinner. Like, there's no, like, you're not taught about, like, that you could do anything could be romantic and fun, but, like, you're definitely not given those skills by any measure.
It's funny to read sometimes, like, I don't know if you're on dating sites. Well, of course, Corey, you're free. But, like, I've been using OkCupid, and sometimes I read, actually, I do read the bios and stuff, and it's funny to see if some of these girls could, like, you see some really attractive women, and, like, then you'll see underneath, like, be real, like, don't say, all right, I get it, I'm pretty. Don't just say more than that. I'm starting to understand it. I'm like, all right, how do I respond?
Yeah.
You don't like saying, how are you doing? So that's out. Hi is out there. That's in the no list. Well, fuck.
And you don't want to.
You only have a picture you on a boat, and that's it. That's only clue I got.
That's funny. Yeah, it is true. I mean, and also like the interfacing on fucking apps and stuff is like, for me at least, it's like it never can work because the only ability I have is like some ability to be funny, and that's not going to come through on text. And it's like, so my personality is all I have to offer you, and you're not going to get it through this thing, so it's not going to work for me.
It's just also just difficult to get somebody's personality off of a first impression. And people say like first impressions are everything. I talked about this recently. Like, no, first impressions fucking
are deceiving.
What day? Yeah, exactly. Like, what day did you catch this person?
Yeah.
On, you know what I mean? Like, what time of the day did you catch them? What are they doing? Are they like, you know what I mean? Like, if you met Reese Witherspoon after she fucking just got a flat tire, she's not going to be nice to you. She's got to take care of that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's true. No, there's definitely people that I have known for a long time peripherally and then become friends with later, and then it's like, oh, you're totally different than I thought you were, and it's from whatever tiny impression that was made that, it's like, totally. Oh, that can be changed. That can be totally, you could become like buddies with someone that you thought like, this guy might suck, and then later on find out that you're chums.
Totally. I've made amazing first impressions. I made really bad ones. Like,
yeah.
I've made some fucking. I remember some of my bad ones that I've made on people. Like, oh, this person walked in after I had already been here for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
you two buddied.
Yeah, I'm just too gooned the fuck up to be nice to to a stranger. You know what I mean? Like I'm at a level where I know these people. These are the people that I care about. These are the people that I could give two shits if they walked out and got hit by a bus.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, first impressions are deceiving.
Fuck. The future does suck, you guys. Like, this is the future. It's like politics and dating, internet dating is the future, which is
so weird.
Think about that when you were young. Like, if you could have known that the future was going to be like everybody loves politics and internet dating. Those were the two things growing up that were like, you're a weirdo if you're
like that's
things.
Weird.
Yeah. But now, like, that is straight up the new norm. In fact, if you don't partake in both things, then you're kind of weird in today's like current setup.
Oh, you're trying to meet someone in public?
Yeah. What are you talking to me at a bar? Yeah. Very
like
strange.
honestly, at this point, like sometimes when people ask me, like, "Oh, how'd you meet Hannah? How'd you meet your wife?" I feel like I'm a fucking anomaly because I met her out in person.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like they go, "Whoa, you guys met in real life?" And I'm like,
IRL. That's one of them. In real life, yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
My sister's married to someone she met on one of I don't remember which
I know a few people that are married to people that have very successful marriages.
100% the new norm. I mean, maybe when our grandparents were our age, they were talking about like telephones being this or something. Like, these people talk all the time when they're not in person. That's not normal. Like, maybe we're just, the old guard, and then like that's just kind of how things roll and flip over.
I can't even imagine a world where, because I mean, I guess back in that time, like the husband would leave the fucking house and the wife wouldn't fucking see him until he walked through the door again.
Can't get a hold of him. Yeah.
You know? Or
if you're like, if it's a war era and you're in war, it's like, each other from mailing letters. Like, my grandparents met via, like, mailing letters. But while he was at one of the wars. I guess World War II. So it's like, that was normal for them. It's like, I might know you more via writing letters than I don't even know what your voice sounds like. And then they think us telephone people are weird.
That's super romantic, right? When you think about like how they would like, but in a strange way, you can kind of see it. Like, wow, they really just waited for each other this whole time.
Kind of, but there's a little bit of the evil part in there. There's a part of it that's like that I did leave out, but I will tell you now. That it allegedly, from how I remember it, my grandma was dating someone who did know each other, and they were writing letters back and forth. And my actual grandpa, I guess, saw a picture of her, got her address, and just started sending her letters like, "You should be with me." So I think my grandpa stole someone's girl, OPP style.
It's Mr. Steal Your Girl, OPP style.
You know him.
Full circle.
My grandpa's an OPP kind of guy, I suppose.
You down with OPP? Yeah, because in this, I see what you did. Oh man. Well, I guess this has honestly been the truth about the future.
Yeah. Internet dating and politics, man. It's the future.
Politics and diseases, everybody. It's going to hell.
And as the prophet Willard Smith said, you can't know where you're going unless you know where you've been. Remember that song with, I think it was Casey and JoJo and Will Smith? I think it was about the future. He had an album that came out, Millennium, New Millennium.
Yes.
Do you remember that? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think we know Millennium.
We remember Millennium.
Well, there was a period of time where Will Smith he was a cowboy in the Wild Wild West, and then he just really dressed like that for like 2 years.
Oh, yeah, he went like heavy leather. He was like I'm going into...
he was just dressed like a cowboy for like...
West Desperado.
He was in the brown leather tuxedo territory.
Yeah.
He was wearing those little sunglasses. Those little-ass sunglasses.
Man.
I thought that shit was so cool.
He looked pretty fly.
He looked awesome.
He looked awesome.
He looked cool as shit. Like, if I was going to dress like a cowboy, that's the kind of cowboy I would dress like. But not when he wore the white outfit, because I would get it dirty. I would lean on something and fuck it up.
Did he wear at some point, or is it R. Kelly who wore like a cow costume? Or not costume, but like a tuxedo that was like white with black splotches like it's cowhide.
I could see him doing that.
Or I thought it was like a Rorschach ink blot test or something.
Yeah, but but it's probably more cow-based. Someone wore like a full suit like that was so horrible looking. Who knows?
Is there something you guys would wear that's like so wild that you're like, you want to wear it, but you're too scared to wear it in front of other people?
I like Captain Crunch's outfit.
That's cool. kind of Michael Jackson-y.
I would show up in that.
I mean, of course, leather jacket is like that for me. It's like, I think leather jackets are pretty cool, but like also there's something presumptive to wear a leather jacket. It's like, I'm not a cool guy, so I don't know if I can do that.
Well, how are you going to wear it? Are you going to do like Danny Zuko, or are you going to do a Steven Seagal kind of situation?
I got chills and it's multiple.
Kind of motorcycle-y, yeah. I'm like, I want to be like a badass motorcycle guy, but it's like, I shouldn't do that. That's kind of asking for it.
I like wearing leather, though. I like
well, you're strong. You can fight someone. But for me, if I get punched in the face with a leather jacket on, I'm going down.
You look cool, man.
That jacket's good.
That also is protection, man. It protects you.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
If it's leather, maybe not.
Not
so
against
much.
punches, though.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about polo shirts. I would never wear a polo shirt.
Really?
Not into it.
I mean, I wouldn't either, but you could wear it like ironically. I can't. I would wear it I look like a Nazi wearing it.
You think so? Okay. Ryan, you could pull a polo off because if you shaved your facial hair off, you could still go work at Abercrombie and Fitch because you have that clean look. You have that clean look.
I think I'm past my prime. I think it's like the draft. Like the you're after past a certain age, you cannot work at Abercrombie.
They won't let you back at Abercrombie.
Yo, if you're older than 25, you can't work at Abercrombie and Fitch.
Abercrombie and Fitch. You're too old.
Yeah, they're still in youth. They don't need you.
I still got the cum gutters. No.
I mean, unless you want to
gutters. What does that mean?
Teach him, Ryan. Teach him what cum gutters are.
So it's like, it's like if you're like an older man and you have like rock hard abs. And
why do you have to be older?
Oh my god!
You don't think Justin Bieber has cum gutters?
Never heard that before?
Never in my life have I heard that. And that's an image
future,
that is, man. Wow, it's in my head now. That's the image in my brain.
And that was a great button. Well, Asher, I want to say thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
We always love chatting with you. Do you have anything coming out that you want to plug at the moment, or anything you want people to check out?
You just cut out, but I think you just asked me if I have anything I want people to check out.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. No is the answer. You got nothing really. You can look at my Instagram, Asher Sucks, ASHERSUX, if you want to watch pointless, strange videos.
I think they're great.
That's about it, though. Yeah, I'm not really working on anything at the moment.
All right, cool, man.
We're gonna get back to work. Ryan, you got anything?
Check out our Patreon page on patreon.com/Trooth Serum if you want to donate, help out in any way. We would love you forever. Our Instagram's at Trooth Serum _podcast. So if you want to get in contact with us, if you have any questions, anything you want us to talk about, we might talk about it, but we're kind of always random sometimes. Anyways, Corey, what about you?
Not much. Just, hanging out with my, boys. I don't have much going on right now apart from this, other than I was just on our friend Emily's podcast, the Power Up podcast.
Ooh.
As a guest, and that was cool. And I listened back, and I was like, God, why is my voice so abrasive? and then I was just like, why did I talk so fucking much? But Emily's a sweetheart, and she was great. And I also just released the 14th episode of Corey Has a Podcast.
Hell yeah.
People downloaded it over 1,000 times, and I feel pretty good about that. So you can check that out too, and follow me on social media, Corey Easley _ I'm not going to spell it, but you got it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Catch you later.
Wicked.
Later, guys. Thanks, Asher.
The only social media I do is Instagram, so I'm just not savvy to anything, and especially when people start doing those acronyms that mean a sentence, I just can't retain what it means. Even though I've looked it up, I can't retain what it means. Like, LOL was the last one I took in. LOL, I get that. After that, my brain can't hold it.
And LOL is a funny one, too, because it doesn't necessarily mean you're laughing. It also is
It's a lie.
It's a blow softener. It's
it's a lie. It's like,
man, that shit you did sucked. LOL.
It's patting you on the back. It's like,
yeah. All right, I guess. All right, so I'm gonna start the show right now.
Let's get into it.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel a little hungover. Hold on.
Oh yeah, that's how you should be. Also have a story to tell you. Like,
no, actually, I'm not. I don't actually feel hungover. I just feel a little bit sleepy because I literally just opened my eyes.